Once, these waters were the world's most feared. Piracy, theft, fear at sea. But the Nigerian Navy fought back and won. For 3 years, our seas have been calm. Piracy defeated, waters secured, the Navy victorious. But calm seas alone are not enough. What next? Empty coasts, idle hands, youths with no trawlers to work on. Security without prosperity is only half a victory. America is a superpower because its security fuels its prosperity, and its prosperity funds its security. Nigeria too must embrace this duality. No arm of our military holds the key more than the Navy. The old battle was pirates, oil thieves, and poachers. The Navy won it. The new battle is poverty on our coasts, wasted blue wealth, stolen futures. This is the blue battle, the battle for prosperity, for jobs, for abundance. Admiral, history will remember not only the battles you won at sea, but the prosperity you unleashed from it.
Green, versatile, and fast-growing, seaweed is nature's gift to the future. And in Nigeria, it's just beginning to bloom. Seaweed requires no fresh water, no fertilizer, and absorbs carbon as it grows. Nourishes soil, feeds fish, replaces plastic, and heals skin. Globally, the seaweed market is worth over $15 billion, and Nigeria's coast is ripe for cultivation. Nigeria's warm, nutrient-rich waters are ideal for seaweed, yet only a handful of farms exist. What's needed? Training, investment, and policy support. From snacks to skincare, seaweed offers rural jobs, green exports, and sustainable growth. With blue finance, youth incubation, and smart aquaculture, Nigeria could become West Africa's seaweed leader.
Each year, over 11 billion tons of goods are transported across oceans. From smartphones to tomatoes, from cars to crude oil, the world sails on ships. But these giants of commerce leave behind a trail of carbon and crisis. In Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation and a coastal powerhouse, our ports are gateways to prosperity. But they are also engines of pollution, responsible for rising emissions and strained urban infrastructure. The maritime shipping industry produces nearly 3% of global greenhouse gas emissions. That's more than the emissions of Germany or Japan. A single large cargo ship emits as much pollution as 50 million cars. Here in Nigeria, these emissions don't just harm the climate, they choke our cities, burden our healthcare systems, and put vulnerable lives at risk. But the tide is turning. Around the world, ports are embracing cleaner fuels, digital innovations, and green infrastructure. Nigeria is beginning to chart its own path forward. In Lagos, the shift to liquefied natural gas, LNG, as ship fuel is gaining traction. In River State, port authorities are testing electrified cranes. Across the coast, Nigeria's blue economy stakeholders are thinking beyond diesel. Innovation is not imported, it's homegrown. Nigerian universities and startups are developing AI-powered vessel monitoring tools, carbon accounting software, and digital platforms for port operations. The next generation of maritime leaders is learning to code, design, and deploy technology that not only optimizes shipping, but protects our planet. The International Maritime Organization has set an ambitious goal: net zero emissions from shipping by 2050. The world is moving fast. Nigeria must not just follow, but lead. With strategic investment, cross-border collaboration, and the right policy frameworks, Nigeria can become West Africa's hub for clean maritime logistics. Sustainable shipping is more than a global ambition, it's a national imperative. It's about cleaner air for our children, thriving oceans for our communities, and a future that sails with purpose. Join the voyage to decarbonize our seas. Because the journey to a cleaner tomorrow begins with every port we build and every ship we sail. For centuries, coastal communities have lived in harmony with the sea, managing, respecting, sustaining. But that balance is slipping away. Marine policies often come from faraway cities, detached from the rhythms of the tide. Meanwhile, the people who know the sea best are often unheard. Studies show that co-management, shared responsibility between government and locals, leads to stronger enforcement, sustainability, and resilience. In Ibino and Elage, fishers, women processors, and local leaders are setting their own rules, limiting gear, closing spawning zones, and reporting illegal boats. They know that the sea gives only when respected. And when communities feel ownership, enforcement follows. Tools are evolving. Smartphones now track fish stocks. Sea rangers collect data. And fisherwomen use mobile wallets to organize cooperatives. These are not just governance models, they are movements. Proof that sustainability grows stronger when rooted in culture. Governments may draw borders, but stewardship begins at the shoreline. When coastal voices lead, the sea listens, and so should we.
The ocean isn't just water. It's Africa's next trillion-dollar frontier. Are you an executive, policymaker, entrepreneur, or ambitious professional ready to unlock ocean wealth? Introducing the Mastering the Blue Economy, an executive intensive by Blue Economy Academy, your gateway to robust ocean literacy, strategic insights, and leadership excellence.
Nigeria consumes over 3 million metric tons of fish each year, but produces barely half of that. And with wild catch dwindling, what comes next? Across the globe, aquaculture, farming fish instead of catching them, is reshaping food systems. In Nigeria, it's becoming not just an option, but a necessity. Catfish, tilapia, shrimps, these staples are now increasingly farmed in tanks, ponds, and cages. Today, aquaculture contributes 40% of local fish supply. But it's still not enough. The challenges are real. Poor water quality, rising feed costs, and a lack of cold storage plague smallholders. Many lack access to capital or modern training. But innovation is bubbling up. Startups are bringing IoT sensors, mobile diagnostics, and digital marketplaces to fish farmers, boosting yields and reducing risk. Fish is more than food, it's a source of protein, jobs, and resilience. It prevents malnutrition, empowers women, and supports millions of livelihoods. By supporting gender-inclusive fish farming, Nigeria can lift families out of poverty and nourish future generations. To feed tomorrow, we must farm the sea today. Aquaculture is not just about growing fish, it's about growing futures. Clean, climate-smart, and community-led. The next seafood revolution will not come from the ocean floor, it will rise from Nigeria's ponds, tanks, and mines. For years, a silent war was fought in our waters. A fight against pirates, saboteurs, and criminals who threatened our nation's economic lifeblood. This is the story of a force that stood ready. A navy that answered the call. The Nigerian Navy has won the first half of the victory. Through unwavering resolve, piracy in the Gulf of Guinea has been defeated, winning us international acclaim. We have brought calm seas to our nation. But calm seas without thriving coasts is only half a victory. The next battle is not with fire, but with focus. A battle to transform the Navy's security win into Nigeria's prosperity. To win this battle, we must change our strategy. From security as a cost to security as a product. This is the purpose of NIPOL, Nigeria's first national prosperity coalition. It is a Navy-led doctrine, an architecture for immediate action where security becomes the bedrock of investment confidence. NIPOL is a strategic handshake between the war room and the boardroom. It moves beyond the silos of marine and shipping to bring in every sector that touches our seas. Consider our vision for blue cities. Nigeria has 853 kilometers of coastline and 8 littoral states brimming with untapped potential. The private sector is ready to invest billions in coastal resorts and infrastructure, but they need an assurance no other institution can provide. NIPOL is that assurance. It is the platform where the Navy provides the security and state governors provide the access, allowing the private sector to deliver the prosperity. This is how the Navy gets a seat at the table from the very beginning, ensuring seamless security planning while simultaneously generating revenue, creating millions of jobs, and revitalizing our coastal communities. Admiral, the tides of our national destiny are changing. For the first time, a dedicated ministry and a national policy have given us the mandate to act. The space is open. This is the moment to pivot the Navy from a guardian of our waters to the guarantor of our prosperity. This is the legacy that awaits your leadership.
Nigeria takes a bold step toward ocean intelligence and economic diversification as the nation's first dedicated broadcast platform for the maritime sector. Blue Economy TV, BETV, officially launches in Lagos with a mission to eliminate sea blindness and turn the nation's 853-kilometer coastline into a hub of prosperity. The launch marks a new era for practitioners and policymakers alike. The atmosphere at the Blue Economy Academy in Ikoyi was one of high expectations as industry giants, media practitioners, and government officials gathered for the historic unveiling of Blue Economy TV. The event kicked off with a stirring address by the founder of the Blue Economy Academy, Ubong Essien, CSP.
Without maritime, even the oil we have would not be exportable for us to bring in our petrodollars. Shipping and all of that, while we have done that for decades, it is now time to explore all of the other elements that make up the ecosystem. So you have blue talent. For some of you in HR, there's room for you to play there. We have blue power.
a former media practitioner and maritime expert, emphasized that while maritime is a sector, the blue economy is an entire ecosystem that Nigeria is yet to fully harvest. Our mission is to see a Nigeria that prospers by water. From Badagry to Bakassi, we have been sea blind for too long. BETV is here to provide knowledge you can use, viewing our politics, our finance, and our future through a blue prism. The vision for the station includes flagship programs like Blue Money Nigeria and a maritime version of Journalist Hangouts designed to drive policy and connect the Blue Corridor states across the Federation. The special advisor to the governor of Lagos State on the blue economy, Oluwadamilola Emmanuel, who was the special guest of honor, described the launch as the sound of abundance. He noted that Lagos, with over 180 kilometers of coastline, stands as the ground zero for this movement.
So today indeed marks a shift. The launch of the Blue Economy TV is not just the unveiling of a platform, but it's the awakening of a consciousness, a realization that our waters are not barriers, but they are bridges, not limits, but they are lifelines, not just scenery, but strategy. Because within these waters lie jobs for our youth, food security through fisheries and aquaculture, mobility solutions through water transport, investment opportunities in tourism, sport, ports, and marine services, and pathways to environmental sustainability and climate resilience.
Our waters are not barriers, they are bridges. Within them lie jobs for our youth, food security, and renewable energy. Transformation must first happen in the minds of the people, and Blue Economy TV is the awakening of that consciousness. A highlight of the event was a high-tech digital display showcasing how AI, satellites, and smart sensors will be used to monitor Nigeria's oceans. This was followed by the official cutting of the ribbon, symbolizing the commissioning of the BETV studio. The special advisor was also honored with a leadership award in recognition of his commitment to advancing maritime strategy in Lagos State. As guests networked at the Blue Economy Academy, the message was clear. The Blue Battle is no longer just about fighting piracy, but about fighting poverty through the wealth of the sea.
Blue Economy Academy prosper by water?
Recent times I've been asked, Ubong, why did you start the Blue Economy Academy? I mean, given that I had a 3-year stint working in the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency as a special advisor on strategy to the chief executive. And that gave me a multitude of experience. It gave me a multitude of exposure as well, and not to talk about acquired expertise at undoubtedly the highest level of maritime administration, working with the Apex Maritime Regulatory Agency. And one thing that I kept seeing time and again is that this nation is truly blessed. And when you look at our coastline from Badagry in Lagos to Bakassi, say at the Cross River end, it's amazing what 853 kilometers of coastline can do. I like to call it the kiss of the Atlantic.
The Blue Economy Academy was founded to eliminate sea blindness and help Nigeria harness its ocean-driven opportunities through education, engagement, advocacy, and awareness. We champion the 10 buckets of the Blue Economy, a framework designed to transform Nigeria's blue resources into a major driver of national prosperity. The Blue Economy Academy executes its mission through 4 core pillars: awareness and public engagement.
No nation could be more fortunate in this part of the world than Nigeria is. So we are, by design, meant to be a nation driven by the blue economy. So in answering their question based on this combination of factors, my answer is that we see a country that should prosper by water. Absolutely. And that's really what is at the heart of our vision at the Blue Economy Academy. We envision a country that ought to be prospering by its waters. Now, keep in mind that within the hinterland of the country, within the country itself, you have about 20 states that can be easily, or that can be connected by water. We have rivers, we have lakes, various water bodies. And that tells us that we also have within our inland waterways a blue corridor. Absolutely, a blue corridor, because in my view, what you have across our coastline, our ocean, we need to get Nigerians to understand. And that's what's at the heart of the Blue Economy Academy, to eliminate sea blindness and to elevate ocean-based opportunities through increased engagement and awareness and advisory and advocacy, so that we can begin to see our ocean not just as a boundary, but as an actual economic frontier, littered, embedded with unbelievable economic possibilities, opportunities waiting to be tapped by Nigerians and for Nigeria. That is what the Blue Economy Academy is committed to achieving. Prosper by water. For us, it is more than just a mantra. It is the essence of what we see in Nigeria and how we see Nigeria prospering through our waters.
Making the blue economy a mainstream conversation to eliminate sea blindness. education, and capacity building, equipping individuals and organizations with the skills needed to thrive in ocean-driven industries. Advocacy and policy support, engaging policymakers, regulators, and industry leaders to shape supportive policies for sustainable maritime development. Footage, high-level meetings, industry conferences, and speeches. Investment and enterprise development, connecting entrepreneurs, financiers, and investors to unlock economic potential within Nigeria's blue sector. Blue Economy Academy, prosper by water.
Time administration working with the Apex Maritime Regulatory Agency. And one thing that I kept seeing time and again is that this nation is truly blessed. And when you look at our coastline from Badagry in Lagos to Bakassi, say at the Cross River end, it's amazing what 853 kilometers of coastline can do. I like to call it the kiss of the Atlantic.
The Blue Economy Academy was founded to eliminate sea blindness and help Nigeria harness its ocean-driven opportunities through education, engagement, advocacy, and awareness. We champion the 10 buckets of the blue economy, a framework designed to transform Nigeria's blue resources into a major driver of national prosperity. The Blue Economy Academy executes its mission through 4 core pillars: awareness and public engagement.
No nation could be more fortunate in this part of the world than Nigeria is. So we are, by design, meant to be a nation driven by the blue economy. So in answering their question based on this combination of factors, my answer is that we see a country that should prosper by water. Absolutely. And that's really what is at the heart of our vision at the Blue Economy Academy. We envision a country that ought to be prospering by its waters. Now, keep in mind that within the hinterlands of the country, within the country itself, you have about 20 states that can be easily, or that can be connected by water. We have rivers, we have lakes, various water bodies. And that tells us that we also have within our inland waterways a blue corridor. Absolutely, a blue corridor, because in my view, what you have across our coastline, our ocean, we need to get Nigerians to understand. And that's what's at the heart of the Blue Economy Academy, to eliminate sea blindness and to elevate ocean-based opportunities through increased engagement and awareness and advisory and advocacy, so that we can begin to see our ocean not just as a boundary, but as an actual economic frontier, littered, embedded with unbelievable economic possibilities, opportunities waiting to be tapped by Nigerians and for Nigeria. That is what the Blue Economy Academy is committed to achieving. Prosper by water. For us, it is more than just a mantra. It is the essence of what we see in Nigeria and how we see Nigeria prospering through our waters.
Making the blue economy a mainstream conversation to eliminate sea blindness, education and capacity building, equipping individuals and organizations with the skills needed to thrive in ocean-driven industries, advocacy and policy support, engaging policymakers, regulators, and industry leaders to shape supportive policies for sustainable maritime development. Footage, high-level meetings, industry conferences, and speeches. Investment and enterprise development, connecting entrepreneurs, financiers, and investors to unlock economic potential within Nigeria's blue sector.
I'm Martina Perry New Beach from Nigerian Shippers Council South Zone Coordinating Office. The retreat so far has been so eye-opening, and especially today's topic from the Mr. SM Ubong, eloquent speaking, has been so eye-opening. It has impacted us positively and have given us a guide on how to go about being an emperor and a lot more. We appreciate it so much, and we wish to have more of this kind of sort of training. Thank you.
Madam dear Susan Shahoma, and the training was very insightful, very engaging. I learned a lot in terms of the importance of actually shifting my mindset from doing things the regular way to actually thinking outside the box. It was a very interesting class for me, and I would say my biggest take home is the fact that we can actually do things differently. Even though we might have been used to doing things the conventional way, we can actually make a decision to do things in a different way and still get better results. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Ogugbemi Idowu Samuel. A big thanks to the facilitator who has impacted knowledge. We've been encouraged to set a timely goal to drive the council's image, and also to shape the public opinion by setting a strong agenda for the public. We have also been encouraged to invest in improving some of our skills, which has to do with speaking skills, writing skills, and also to ensure we improve on our capacity to timely delivery of public relations services. And according to him, he said it is time we look at the opportunity in harnessing, the greatness in the strategy of public relations, that is relying on some platforms to drive the council's goal and to also ensure we sustain mutual understanding with the public. And there are some means and strategies to do that, which has been highlighted. And trust me, as a result of this great discussion, we'll take it and we'll implement it so that at the end of the day, we achieve a strong goal, a strong image with the public, and also improve on the council's reputation. Thank you.
My name is Zainab Momon Blakos, Public Relations Officer, Kaduna Port Office. I enjoyed today's lectures. It was very interactive. Personally, my take home is the dynamic shift, how we think from not the normal thinking we always think every day, thinking of something new, what we use to sustain the image of the council, and how to that sustainability of the image. And also what I also took was what if, the question of what if, always sitting down to think, what will happen? Thank you.
So we are here today on a first day of a 5 days course on port security, and more in particular on the training of port security officers that the European Union is funding through the project Scope Africa. Well, we are one of many projects that the European Union is funding in the Gulf of Guinea. And we are taking care of ports, and within ports we are focusing on safety and security topics. And we are in Nigeria working with the National Ports Authority and with NIMASA, who are both participating in this training session. Well, the purpose is that international standards and norms, amongst others in port security, are to be strengthened. And this training session will strengthen the way of working and the best practices in the field of related to port security. And that's why we are assisting NPA and NIMASA with this training session, which is part of a longer cycle of capacity building topics that we will develop together with NPA and NIMASA in the next couple of years. ISPS is an obligation for any country working with the International Maritime Organization and with ports and with port facilities. So the outcome of this training will be a more comprehensive approach and a better understanding of today's security issues in ports and terminals.
The European Union have a specific project geared towards aiding West and Central African countries to improve on their port security through the ISPS framework. And over the years, they have done some evaluations to determine the level of implementation of ISPS around the ports in West Africa and Central Africa. And following those evaluations, they have identified the need to support African countries with training in order to be able to improve the level of implementation. And this is one of the many trainings they have been organizing in the past. BRICS is privileged to be chosen as one of the facilitator for this specific training, which is training 25 port facility security officers. So the ISPS is a security framework for port facilities and ships. Reason being that the ships are the vehicles that interface with the port facilities, and it is concerned with making sure that shipping globally is secured to prevent terrorists from taking advantage of shipping to perpetuate terrorist activities. And so everyone working in the ports, not just the port authorities themselves, be it customs, immigration, NDLEA, port health, every agent, shipping companies, everyone that work around the port to some extent. The IMO model courses have made provisions for training for people that will work within the port facility. There are people with specific duties, there are specific responsibilities that have been identified, such as the ship security officer and the port facility security officer. They have their training. But it's expected that for them to be able to implement these measures, that people are aware, people that work in the port facilities are aware. And so there is another course called Port Facility Security Awareness, as well as the Ship Security Awareness course programs, which I encourage everyone working in the port, all agencies of government that have one or two things to do in the port to ensure that their officers undergo this training before deploying them to the port for their various duties.
So this is my first time having this training as a port security officer, this port security facility officers training, and I'll tell you that we appreciate it so much because it's been very difficult getting this training done by the organization, as so many requests have been made. But as bottlenecks in the maritime sector, in the maritime agencies go like, and yeah, it's a good one. And what I've benefited from this training, for instance, is that it's well packaged and it covers all aspects of the ISPS code, starting with all the relevant sections of maritime security in the maritime industry. So it's important that this training is done, as we've been able to learn so much already about the ISPS code and how to become a port facility security officer. Yeah, we would like to have training on how to do proper port facility security assessment, port facility security plans, as well as things like budget training, where you can go offshore and do such relevant trainings. Yeah. I think those will also improve our job, as well as when you have more stakeholders, such as other government agencies, can participate in this kind of training to ensure that everybody is brought on board and can work together in synergy at the ports to make it a safer place. So I think that can help in that light.
Port of Andre Bridge International is a global port developer, so which means I quite operate within the port ecosystem, and this training is about capacity building for the white-collar staff of the port. So when the opportunity came for Nigeria to have a feel or a grab of the program, which European Union is currently running in some other African countries as well, so we're able to do the needful to make sure that Nigeria is a beneficiary, and that is why today the program is being kicked off with the training sections in collaboration with MPA and NIMASA. Today's phase of the training program is solely about the ISPS code within the port environment. But beyond that, the program is running for 4 years. We started in 2025, which is the inaugural phase and all of that. So now, till the end of the program, there are other trainings that will obviously come up to build capacity of the white-collar staff of the port. It's no financial cost to Nigerian government, at no financial cost to MPA or NIMASA. So why not, if we can have it? Yeah, it's adding to our port staff capacity on the job. So why not have it if we can have it? So like the other phase of the project will be taking care of the firefighters and the rest of it. So various segments of the port. So if we can have it for free and somebody is paying for it, it's okay, we have it. That's my opinion.
I'm Martina Perez New Beach from Nigerian Shippers Council South Zone Coordinating Office. The retreat so far has been so eye-opening, and especially today's topic from the Mr. SM Ubong, eloquent speaking, has been so eye-opening. It has impacted us positively and have given us a guide on how to go about being an emperor and a lot more. We appreciate it so much, and we wish to have more of this kind of sort of training. Thank you.
Madam dear Susan Shahoma, and the training was very insightful, very engaging. I learned a lot in terms of the importance of actually shifting my mindset from doing things the regular way to actually thinking outside the box. It was a very interesting class for me, and I would say my biggest take home is the fact that we can actually do things differently. Even though we might have been used to doing things the conventional way, we can actually make a decision to do things in a different way and still get better results. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Ogugbemi Idowu Samuel. A big thanks to the facilitator who has impacted knowledge. We've been encouraged to set a timely goal to drive the council's image and also to shape the public opinion by setting a strong agenda for the public. We have also been encouraged to invest in improving some of our skills, which has to do with speaking skills, writing skills, and also to ensure we improve on our capacity to timely delivery of public relations services. And according to him, he said it is time we look at the opportunity in harnessing the greatness in the strategy of public relations, that is relying on some platforms to drive the council's goal and to also ensure we sustain mutual understanding with the public. And there are some means and strategies to do that, which has been highlighted. And trust me, as a result of this great discussion, we'll take it and we'll implement it so that at the end of the day, we achieve a strong goal, a strong image with the public, and also improve on the council's reputation. Thank you.
My name is Zainab Momon Blakos, Public Relation Officer, Kaduna Port Office. I enjoyed today's lectures. It was very interactive. Personally, my take home is the dynamic shift, how we think from not the normal thinking we always think every day, thinking of something new, what we use to sustain the image of the council and how to that sustainability of the image. And also what I also took was what if, the question of what if, always sitting down to think, what will happen? Thank you.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Darren Phillips, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on LSDPC matters.
So we all know that public speaking is also tough. It's not just about speaking, it's also about handling tough situations. So I want to ask, why do you think people fear public speaking?
Well, with what I've learned, public speaking, the issues most people encounter is the fact that they are thinking of how they look. They're thinking of what they're saying, they're thinking of themselves in that situation. But once you step out of that mindset and start thinking of what the people are going to benefit from that conversation, the knowledge you're going to spread, the information you're going to give them, once you make that shift happen, it completely dissolves that fear, because then it's not about you and you're just focused on passing that message across and getting people to understand what you're saying.
That was really beautiful. So I want to also ask, with the way digital economy is evolving, how do you think public speaking plays a role in the success of businesses in this digital era?
I mean, in this digital era, especially the era of social media, everybody's concerned. Everybody's essentially a public speaker, because with your phone, you can talk to the world. That access has never happened anywhere in the world. But this time period, you have the voice, you have the platform to be able to talk to the world, which is the reason why most people should, not only learn public speaking, but communication. It's such an important and useful skill that you just have to engage in, you have to perfect, you have to constantly practice to get ahead in this digital world.
Okay, thank you so very much, and thank you for your time. Have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Darren Phillips, Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on LSDPC matters.
So we all know that public speaking is also tough. It's not just about speaking, it's also about handling tough situations. So I want to ask, why do you think people fear public speaking?
Well, with what I've learned, public speaking, the issues most people encounter is the fact that they are thinking of how they look. They're thinking of what they're saying, they're thinking of themselves in that situation. But once you step out of that mindset and start thinking of what the people are going to benefit from that conversation, the knowledge you're going to spread, the information you're going to give them, once you make that shift happen, it completely dissolves that fear, because then it's not about you and you're just focused on passing that message across and getting people to understand what you're saying.
That was really beautiful. So I want to also ask, with the way digital economy is evolving, how do you think public speaking plays a role in the success of businesses in this digital era?
I mean, in this digital era, especially the era of social media, everybody's concerned. Everybody's essentially a public speaker, because with your phone, you can talk to the world. That access has never happened anywhere in the world. But this time period, you have the voice, you have the platform to be able to talk to the world, which is the reason why most people should, not only learn public speaking, but communication. It's such an important and useful skill that you just have to engage in, you have to perfect, you have to constantly practice to get ahead in this digital world.
Okay, thank you so very much, and thank you for your time. Have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You look good, by the way, and congrats on your induction, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, can we know you, please?
Okay, my name is Dr. Lanre Ategbero.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm into real estate. I own a real estate company here in VI. We're into real estate agency, management, development, and all.
Okay, so I want to ask you how public speaking has played a role in you pitching to clients or trying to pitch for a position or something in the real estate industry.
Oh well, public speaking is, it's part of our daily activities because for you to market whatever product you have to speak with people, and you have to speak with them in a way they will understand to be ready to deal. Otherwise, it might be a put-off if you can't convey your information politely and accurately. So public speaking is part of our business.
Okay, so do you have any special skill that you use to grasp the attention of audience or clients?
Talk of that, well, that would be about the way I manage my clients in terms of the disposition. You know, you give them this aura that will make them welcome to you and they will be ready to do business with you, which is what I think I have.
Okay, thank you very much.
I endeared my clients to me.
I see that already.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir. Have a lovely day.
You're welcome. Thanks, you too. Bye.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Nice to meet you.
Hey, my name is Comfort.
My name is Kenny Wankwa. I'm a real estate agent, broker, and I'm also the Young Professionals Council president of FIAPSHI.
Wow, that's really nice. So I want to ask how public speaking plays a role in building trust and credibility in the real estate industry as you have to market land, apartments, and properties. How do you build trust and credibility with public speaking?
Okay, I would say that public speaking is, I think, one of the best skills you can have. You can be underqualified, and if you speak well, people will in their mind they'll qualify you higher. So I think it plays a role from the standpoint of communicating accurately, clearly, succinctly, makes people trust you more. It makes you sound more like you know what you're talking about, and people prefer to deal with people especially in this environment where there's like a huge trust deficit, especially in this country. When you speak well and you communicate the information and relay the information accurately and clearly and efficiently, it definitely buys you a great deal of trust. People are more likely to take you on your word more when you speak well. It helps you convey your message. If there's a value proposition that isn't obvious, being a well-spoken person and understanding public speaking can help you relay that in a way. And then also from the standpoint of diversity, being able to speak the various dialects people speak. Like I know, for example, I've had many situations where I'm dealing with like a local chief who is like, on Manilas and stuff and trying to broker some kind of deal, and that your eloquent university speak doesn't work there. Then you go to that guy and you speak the language that he speaks, which is its own form of public speaking. Like in Nigerian politics, you want to do a town hall in your local government. You're probably not going to do it in university English. So definitely that skill is huge in buying trust and, like credibility and cachet with people.
Wow, this was really wonderful. Thank you very much for your time and have a lovely day ahead.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Good day, sir.
Good day, good afternoon, you're welcome.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Esetobe Abdegani Jimo, a member of the FIAPSHI family. I'm into real estate, though practice in the northern part of Nigeria, that is precisely Abuja, Kaduna, and Kano, respectively. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I want to ask you how public speaking has helped you when speaking in public and how you handle tough questions or objections during public speaking.
Public speaking, I think, though I would say as the public relation officer, as a PRO, Kaduna State branch of the Nigerian Institute of Research Survey and Valuers, I say I speak more in the public, and that has kind of like built my confidence when communicating with people, seeking people's opinion and making your own opinions, getting across your own opinion to others as well. And speaking in public, I think it goes a long way. Apart from the talent, it also has to do with training. It also has to do with learning and other skills involved.
Okay. So I want to also ask, do you think public speaking is inbuilt, or you can actually learn it, or it is like natural, like a talent?
Yes. Number one, there are those with that talent, so we can say it's inbuilt. However, apart from the inbuilt talent, I can categorically say it has to do with learning also. Because for you to be able to speak in public, you need to first of all identify the kind of public you want to discuss with, and the kind of event you want to speak. You want to kind of go into. Is it a formal event? Is it a semi-formal event, or an informal event? Because that will guide you in the way of communication, in the way of processing your ideas to the people on so let me say to the attendees, those who are present at such events. So it also has to do with learning also and training for you to be able to kind of communicate with people effectively.
Thank you so very much for your time. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. And I can say I want to use the opportunity also to thank the CEO of Achievement Channel. And why I said it is that today it's because I also speak in public also. It kind of like give me another dimension to mode of speaking, because first of all, apart from we all understand that you need to kind of like introduce your theme, you need to introduce your topic, it's also give me another perspective which has to do with involvement, which has to do with engagement. Because without the engagement, even speaking in public has a long way to go. Yes, because seriously today, this afternoon, I've also learned some things. Because I have to take my pen and pick my pad to take one or two things down, because it gave me an idea that when trying to introduce your topic, apart from the fact that you need to read your audience, it also has to do with bringing facts from the background of what your topic is, and try to use that background to base what's your topic inside, which has to do with training. Yes, it has to do with training, and that's very good. At least I've learned one or two things from him. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Good day, sir. Can I know you, please?
Well, my name is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Honorable Ayodeji Ejalonibo Amodu. I'm currently the Senior Special Assistant to Mr. Governor, Mr. Celebu, Mr. Infrastructure, Mr. Housing, where I am, of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State.
Okay, that's really nice. So I just want to ask you a question. So as a leader in the real estate industry, I want to ask how public speaking has influenced your success in the real estate industry.
Well, thank you very much. To say the fact, I love public speaking because I had a stint with public speaking, because at some point I had a degree in public relations and advertising. And if you actually study public relations, that was at a postgraduate level at Nigerian Institute of Journalism. That back then, by about 2000, about 25 years ago, in public relations, it's a course you actually take, public speaking, and public speaking helps you to actually express yourself. It gives you some sense of expression.
Yeah, Chief Dr. Sita Chukwu is my name, the National Coordinator of Save Nigeria Freight Forwarders, Importers and Exporters Coalition, and at the same time the Chairman, International Freight Forwarders Association.
Okay, so as a stakeholder in the maritime industry, how do you think the 24-hour operation policy would sustain the economy? And do you believe it will work effectively and efficiently in Nigeria?
It works in many other countries. I don't know why it cannot work in Nigeria. What only that can make it to work in Nigeria is having what we call efficient security. One, and efficient economic driven, technical economic driven. And two, sincerity and transparency in the system. So because one thing that you could understand in Nigeria is that not that we are not professionally being brought up to do this work, not that we don't have the sense to do the work, but the problem we have, I don't know where it's coming from. Nigeria has been a place that one thing is being discussed every year, is never getting well.
My name is Dr. Eugene Chukwumeke. I'm the Secretary Custom Consultative Committee, CCC, and Head of Research, Sea Employment Research Center. So,
in regards to the 24-hour port operation, how do you think this will impact the economy and also sustain the community close to the port areas?
24 hours port operation, to say it the other way around, activities within the port and outside the port and port community will be on. No sleeping, no moment. That's the simple way to put it. So we are saying, is it a norm, a practicable norm outside the globe? The answer is yes. So if other parts of the world are traveling 24/7, non-stop, why must Nigerian ports sleep after 6 o'clock in the evening? That's not ideal. So in as much as the terminal operators are receiving cargo, discharging cargo from vessels, and at the same time, stacking them, at the same time loading for vessels to go out, nothing stops the freight forwarders from coming on to take their cargo at any given time. So government have to make a serious pronouncement and follow it with action, implementation plan. Government must say this is an economic regulator, an ombudsman that will raise the red card or yellow card to a reporting person. Shipping line must open up itself totally to automation so that we can leverage on them. Bank will not go sleeping, right? Custom gates are open and their system should be functioning 24/7.
Assistant Controller of Customs, Oyo Oladipo, in Nigerian Customs Service.
Okay, so what role do you think the custom plays in implementing the 24-hour port operation service?
Customs plays a pivotal role and a major role in 24 hours clearance, because definitely that anything that comes into the country must come through our borders, and of course when they come through our borders we have to do our proper security check, and part of our core function is making sure that there's revenue generation and substandard goods are not coming into the country, and as well to tackle smuggling activities.
I'm Captain Sunday Omoren, the Secretary General of the Memorandum of Understanding on Port State Control for West and Central African Region, popularly called the Abuja MOU.
Okay. So I wanted to ask what you think should be the role of stakeholders and policymakers in implementing the 24-hour port operation.
Okay, as I highlighted in my presentation, the starting point is for the policymakers, which is the government, to have that law in place that yes, you can conduct your operation within in a 24 hours cycle. So for you to actually start, you must have the backing of the law. So once you have that done, the next thing is to have the maritime. We have what we actually call the maritime cluster. The maritime is not an isolated profession to which you have one group, like probably customs, standing there saying, I'm the boss. Absolutely not. It is called a maritime cluster because it's a collective company of people that work together for it to be successful. Yes, if everybody is ready for 24 hours operation and custom is not ready, it will not work. If everybody is ready, the pilots are not ready, it will not work. So everybody must come to that agreement. Recall I said something about capacity building. So staff must be trained in readiness for that operation for it to be successful. There could be an emergency at night. So the hospital people, the emergency team must also be on ground. So all the stakeholders just have to work. You know what we normally will say, all hands on deck, is actually what you need for the 24 hours operation to be successful.
My name is Daniel Dibe. I'm the Deputy Chief Operating Officer for Lekki Deep Sea Port.
Okay, so I want to ask what you think is the benefits of the implementation of the 24-hour port operation in the Lekki Deep Sea Port services and operations.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very important. Basically, everything around the port is about time, right? Measurement of port's performance is around how fast you transact, how fast you service. So having the full complements of the total number of hours in a day, it's important, right? And again, for the shipping lines, they have to meet their schedule. So they have to be operated 24 hours of the day, alongside cargo clearance, availability of this cargo to the importer. They have to be able to get their cargo within the hours of the day. So restricting any form of port operations to less than 24 hours creates inefficiency, congestion, and makes it more expensive to move cargo. Yeah.
My name is Mark Walsh. I'm the Executive Director of Operations of E&L Consortium, APAPA.
Okay, so I wanted to ask the benefits of the private sector, like a terminal operation like the E&L, in achieving the 24-hour port operation.
Okay, for us, I mean, it's very beneficial to us and our customers to be able to work 24 hours a day. It's in a situation that we've achieved over the years, but at the moment now we are working 24/7. Our customers are able to take delivery, and we discharge the vessels in the port.
Okay, so are there any challenges so far, and what do you think could be the preferred solution?
Well, the challenges is that the basic infrastructures, I mean roads, lighting, are problems that are faced by all the terminals. And those things need to be done in this new port modernization that's going on. We need to be able to have good access in and out of the port and secured access in and out of the port.
My name is Ahmed Ogunshola, and I am General Manager at Trade Modernization Project Limited.
I wanted to ask, with the implementation of the 24-hour port operation, what role do you think the private sector can play in actualizing this goal?
It's a very interesting question. We are a private sector organization, and we're currently implementing a public-private partnership with the federal government of Nigeria, specifically to modernize Nigeria Customs Service. In that context, the private sector can be a very, very strong partner with the government in achieving and actualizing 24-hour operation at the ports. And that's where we come in. And what the private sector essentially does, and what we're very good at, is one, raising the necessary investments that are required for 24-hour port operations, galvanizing the required technical expertise for that to happen, and also reaching out across the world for partners that we can collaborate with and work with to come into the sector. Nigeria Ports is already highly connected around the world. There are many global players here in Nigeria. So where the private sector comes in is to deepen that collaboration and deepen that global partnership to make 24-hour port operation a success.
This was really impactful. Thank you so very much for your time, and have a lovely day ahead.
Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of Watchers of the Sea, Nigeria's daily maritime journalist roundtable, coming to you from our studios here in Ikoyi, Lagos, on the Blue Economy TV. I am Ismail Anemu, and with me today is maritime policy analyst and public affairs commentator, Dr. Hope Orivri.
Thank you.
Yes. Together, we'll be navigating one of the most significant developments to shape Nigeria's maritime landscape in recent history.
Thank you, Ismail. It's an honor to be part of this groundbreaking moment. Today, we're focusing on the recent approval of Nigeria's very first national blue economy policy endorsed by the Federal Executive Council on May the 5th, 2025. This 10-year policy framework running from 2025 to 2034 is designed to unlock the economic potential of our marine and coastal assets, spanning sectors like fisheries, tourism, renewable energy, maritime logistics, and more.
Yes, it's a strategic move, one that aligns with global development targets like UN Sustainable Development Goals and Africa's Agenda 2063, focusing on climate resilience, job creation, sustainability, and long-term national growth.
But before we get into our full discussion today, it's important to take a step back and understand the bigger picture, the groundwork, the drivers, and the decisions that brought us to this policy milestone.
Exactly. To prove that essential context, let's watch this short report that traces the journey from early advocacy to Federal Executive Council approval and outlines the potential impact of this policy on Nigerians across the coastal and maritime space. There you have it. A comprehensive look at how far we've come, how far we are aiming to go with this bold policy direction.
It's an encouraging development, but as always, the real test lies in implementation, oversight, interagency coordination, and delivering real value to Nigerians, not just on paper, but on the water, and in the lives of those most affected.
Let's explore that next. What does this policy mean for maritime governance, industry players, and the Nigerian economy at large? For me, there has always been this high expectation, anticipation for a better maritime industry that is propelled by policy that encourages foreign investment and the growth of local economy. What are your expectations? What do you foresee with this 10-year, one decade policy coming into our maritime space?
Okay, I think first I would just say congratulations to Nigeria and congratulations to the marine and blue economy, because this had been anticipated for a very long time. In fact, for as long as 20 years back, 15 years ago, they were talking about signing, approving a policy that would drive the marine and blue economy. 10 years they were talking about it, 5 years ago they were talking about it, but good enough we now have it today. I think it's not just about getting it signed, approved is one thing. We must begin to look at the nitty-gritty. What are people expecting since the policy has been signed? What should be done by who, at what time, and then what should be the outcome? Policy, fine. We've now, the marine and blue economy has been given a framework with which it can work, with which a lot of things can be driven. So I would think that industry stakeholders should begin to put before each task what should be done. They should begin to look at processes. A policy has been signed, a framework has been made. So what should be plugged into where? For example, let's talk about tourism. That how well will this policy drive tourism and then be able to sustain good, rich, and valuable tourism? It would be of great for stakeholders and even stakeholders generally, as in people who have their private practice, people who have private operations, those in public operations as well, to look at what an agency such as NIWA is doing. Because if you talk about tourism, Nigeria has quite a lot. The potential is huge, but we see the challenges of accidents happening, boat mishap happening from time to time. I think
that's a safety issue anyway.
It's a safety issue, but it's still a huge part of tourism. People should be able to have the confidence of going on tour, for example, from a place like CMS across to places like Takwa Bay.
Calabar.
In fact, that's even far. People want to move from CMS to Takwa Bay and other coastal areas where they can actually go and have a good time. But how confident are they if they hear these issues of boat mishap every day? So if it's going to drive tourism, if Nigeria is going to have quite a lot of gain from the policy backing tourism, then it will be expedient for the issues of safety using the inland waters to be addressed.
Fine, tourism is good, but before now I've also observed a kind of disconnect between the federal government and the states, talking about cascading maritime policy implementation down the line.
Okay.
We have about 21 states, if not more, that have waters or that are linked by waters. And with that 21 states, you could imagine the vast potential you stand to enjoy from it coming from maritime transport. That's just one aspect. Tourism, which is backed by adequate security.
Yeah.
Fishing. You see, fishing is one big pond of opportunity that Nigeria is yet to fully tap into, because I see mostly Indians and Chinese dominating that aspect.
In fact, I was going to say that yes. if you are going to talk about fishing or fisheries, generally,
Nigerians are like less than 10% participating
in that sector.
So I hope this policy will be able to
protect local businesses in the fisheries sector.
Inclusivity of Nigerians in the fishing sector. Because the value chain from the fishing sector is such that it can generate more jobs than we can imagine.
I think stemming from that angle, it will be of great importance and a necessity to look at how foreign companies come to plunge the fishes in our waters. At least they have now, there's a policy, they have guidelines as to what area, what limits they could go in carrying out their fishing exploits. But we have seen it over time how locals around coastal areas have cried out about not being able to fish any longer because they can't find any fishes. You have people who have their trawlers come in and they sweep the belly of the sea. They sweep out everything, and the locals who don't have such a kind of equipment to do their fishing, they are just left without anything.
The challenges in that sector are hydra-headed. I have a personal experience.
Okay.
I traveled to Ibaka, the place they proposed to have a deep sea port in Akwa Ibom State.
Okay.
And I saw that the large number of fishers in that place were from Ghana. Yes. While the Akwa Ibomites, who should maximize their proximity to water with the Cameroonian maritime border to Nigeria, which is vast economic potential, were not doing it. But rather they were taking tolls, like taking Omonile money from the fishermen who came from Ghana. In addition to that, I also saw moribund fishing infrastructure that has been abandoned.
In fact,
Ebugu. Yes. There's what we call the Ebugu fishing terminal. I saw it.
I was going to say that.
That was a Shagari creation.
That fishing terminal, in fact, you can't talk about developing or growing the fishing sector without mentioning the importance and the need for the revamping of a fishing terminal. The one in Ebugu, like you said, used to at least create jobs for no fewer than 5,000 people, even more. even more, but that had been there, that fishing terminal had been there forever since. It would be of a great good for first the locals and then the industry as a whole, for such terminals to be revamped so that the locals can have that first strength of nearness, or in fact being in their very environment, to explore the potentials that fishing can give to them economically.
In fact, as a maritime country, Nigeria should have no business with poverty. Let alone being called the poverty capital of the world. That in itself is an insult. So I want to believe that this policy will change the narrative and will make Nigerians maximize the advantage and potentials inherent in the waters.
I think still talking about fishing and the need for a fishing terminal. NITOA had also fought for like some 3 years ago on the need for federal government, because there had been promises to develop a fishing terminal in Kirikiri. But I think like 3 years ago, NITOA also still cried out to say the very site, the location that was allocated or that was being discussed, discussions were being held for NITOA to have the fishing terminal, had been taken over by another investment. Since this policy has come in, can the federal government actually take a look at that? Even if that same location is no longer available, it will be of great good to have a fishing terminal, a workable fishing terminal that can provide everything that will support the development and the growth of fishing in this part of the country.
Let's look at maritime transportation.
Yeah.
Do you know that pre-independence Nigeria, people were traveling by water from Calabar to Lagos?
In fact, as late as 2018, 2019, people were still doing quite a lot, traveling by the inland waters from Lagos to, you said, Calabar. In fact, people were still traveling from Lagos, here from CMS, the Marina, to Badagry, and even going as far as Ghana.
See?
Going to Tema. They were going to Tema.
Why don't we have crafts, ferries, cruise boats? Because if you talk of maritime, there's also linkage with tourism. You can decide to go on a fun expedition, traveling by water from Lagos to Calabar. This policy also needs to give reassurance of security.
I mentioned that earlier.
Because if there's security, people can invest in that sector.
People will invest, and then the policy on ground too should make provision should be made to ensure that those who are managing those crafts are well trained. It's important. You don't just get any person because you have invested, you've been able to buy a craft, and you just pick anyone to be there. They need training. These are interrelated network of issues that must be addressed if the policy will do well to grow the marine and blue economy.
You know there are fears. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but the fears is about sustainability. Will a new government sustain and continually implement this policy as laudable as it is, even though
that is the importance of a policy. A policy shouldn't be carved end with a regime. A policy means these are the drivers of this. These are the frameworks that should drive specific sectors of our economy. So it doesn't matter who is there,
and
which party or which government is there.
It's my worry. It's my personal worry.
I think that brings us back to the agencies who oversee all these activities and
agencies. It has to do with politicians now, because agencies who supervise these things are under the political class. Politicians are people who can change their mind at any time. What if another government comes and decides that they want a new policy, they want to start something afresh, different from what they are inheriting? That's my worry. We should have a culture of sustaining good policies like this, implement it for 10 years.
It is very important. I mean, this is a 10-year policy, and anyone who truly wants Nigeria to earn and gain from the good of the vast maritime potential that Nigeria has should actually support it. We are talking of a 10-year policy plan that would guide the operations in different subsectors of the marine and blue economy. I think it should be supported. I don't want to think that any person should just hurriedly wake up. These are taking very long time before we are seeing that the policy is being signed, approved. It should. I think we should all think Nigeria first. It's important. It should be Nigeria first. And then you have regulatory agencies. They are there. They are not there to just run about, oh, a new government has come, this is what this government wants. No, they should be professional enough to understand that whatever operations we are running are backed by a policy. That is why we are saying, oh, a policy is good, so that they will have something that is tangible, that can be referred to, that can be a reference point or reference document to say, this was written to guide or to drive this sector, and let's follow it. If we do that, I think it will be good for the sector and for Nigeria at large.
I'm optimistic too that it will address training deficits, because Nigeria as a maritime country has not been able to put its act together properly when it comes to maritime education and training. That we still have to go to smaller maritime countries in Africa for certification. Even when you go to an academy in Nigeria, you want to travel out of Nigeria for certification, because the certificate of competency issued by the administration in Nigeria is what you call near coastal voyage, NCV. It's not unlimited, and I don't know why we are delaying this unlimited, but this policy should be able to address that.
I was going to say that.
Yes, if you want the best of maritime training, you can get it in Nigeria without necessarily sourcing for dollars to go to South Africa, Egypt, to go and get it. You cannot have this whole vast water space and you don't have the training capacity and capability to churn out the best of manpower. In fact, we shouldn't be just having manpower for ourselves. Nigeria should be exporting maritime manpower.
But I believe strongly indeed that with the policy in place, quite a lot will change. Nigeria has the capacity, and there's nothing wrong in boosting capacity through further training. But right now, Nigeria has capacity. Training, we have people who can train, we have professionals who can actually train the younger generation. It's just for us to have indeed the policy drive the things that we're doing.
We are not taking advantage of the master mariners.
In fact, you are bringing us now to as they go. Who are they raising?
Who are they raising? To fill the gap.
It's important. It's important. It's important that they begin to do training for the next generation. It's important. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, and I believe, we all believe indeed that this policy being implemented will do Nigeria a great deal of good in developing the marine and blue economy.
And the space for training has not been exhausted. Because we have an academy in Akwa Ibom, we have a university somewhere in Delta, and we have so much youth wanting to acquire maritime training, and these spaces in these schools are not enough. The government needs to do much, especially making private institutions that are involved in maritime training to have the recognized standard that will make them hard to the quality. Yes.
Well, I think even what the private sector is doing in the area of training manpower is also commendable.
But very limited.
It's not enough. It's commendable. It's commendable. The only good thing is that let's be focused enough to understand the need to have more younger people being trained come in, and at least so that they can have.
Talking about understanding the needs, yes. most governors from maritime states, from my point of view, are yet to understand the need for their youth to be trained along maritime careers.
Careers.
Yes, because you see these governors hardly discussing things that have to do with maritime training. If governors from the coastal states,
good.
Governors from
I was
the
going to
coastal
say that at least
they begin to invest in maritime training for their youth. They will have less of militancy.
That is another area. I think those who are from the littoral states, Lagos State is doing quite a lot. Delta State is there. Ondo State is there. Bayelsa State is there. Akwa Ibom is there. Cross River is there. And the other states who are from the littoral states, I think they can actually key in and take advantage of this this policy to have a good number of their youth trained in the sector, so that they can gain. They will gain not just for the individuals themselves, but the state itself will also gain from it. I see it as a win-win thing for everyone. It's just for everybody to be awake to it, and then to be able to make decisions that will make each of them be a part of this new phase in the nation's marine and blue economy.
There's the aspect of balancing our foreign trade. You know, yes. Nigeria is import dependent. Coming to talk about a national policy on marine and blue economy.
Yes.
What space or what prominence are we giving to exports? Are we going to continually be importing things into Nigeria? If we are giving space to export, what is Nigeria doing about making our youth, our people, prepared to use the maritime space for export? Because everything keeps coming to Nigeria. If you look at the studio, you look at the street, you look at your room, almost everything you have in your house is important.
Like I mentioned earlier, I think each of the subsectors should now begin to wake up to the responsibilities and the things that they should be doing that will help them or enable them key into their own areas of this policy. I remember that some time ago, about 5 years back, the Nigeria Customs Service started a program to create awareness and train youths on the nitty-gritty of exports and imports. There was a program. I think they should just go back to that document or that program, dust it and bring it up again.
That also talks about the need to look at marine and blue economy policy beyond one ministry, because customs is not under that ministry.
It's not.
So the marine and blue economy policy should be such
that it
touches all ministries that have to do with that marine ecosystem, including the telecoms, oil and gas, finance, where you find the customs, trade, where you find the NEPC, and the rest. So the policy should be one that should bring everybody together for the good and growth of the nation. But I still have this fear. The fear of government agencies trying to, rather than operate as partners, compete or having this corporate ego struggle amongst themselves, where they should be the people partnering with other ones. It brings us back to the SDGs. We see that, like, the SDG 17 encourages people and agencies to partner. There's no time. If people take partnership as a forefront in anything they are doing, then it will be a win-win for everybody. One agency, one ministry can't drive the entirety of this marine and blue economy policy. It's not possible. It intersects different sectors. It intersects different industries, and it will only pay us all for them to cooperate, partner where need be, so that we can have good outcomes. Yeah, as we round up, for the good of this policy and to make it beneficial to everybody, all government agencies should, as a matter of importance, see themselves as children of one parent. Same parents, not rivals, everybody working for the common good and for a family. Once they see themselves like that, you hardly have interagency rivalry. Because this interagency rivalry stems from, this agency is not from my ministry, and you just have to see them as you must do better than them. whereas you have to partner, collaborate for one country.
And it's very funny because anything any of the agencies are doing, anything each one of them is doing, ultimately is for the good of country, is for the good and the propagation of the empowerment that the federal government itself is doing. And even if you cascade it down to the state government, it still says, oh, this state government has done well. But if you put them together again, the good will still go to the federal government.
Yes.
But importantly, it must have touched the lives of the people who are found in their different localities. And I think that is all that we need as a people.
Yeah, the policy is laudable. It has raised our expectations, our anticipations. We look forward to seeing it manifest in a way that will impact positively in the entire maritime space, and Nigeria will be better for it.
We'll keep a tab on that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. The tide has truly turned, at least on paper. What happens next will depend on the political will, private sector collaboration, and how much the media and public hold institutions accountable for execution.
And that's exactly what we aim to do, yeah. On Watchers of the Sea, we are not just reporting the tides, we are helping set them. Thank you for joining. On this maiden voyage, we'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same station, to continue navigating the waves of Nigeria's blue economy.
Until then, keep your eyes on the sea and your mind on the tide. Good night.
Hi, my name is Comfort, and welcome to Blue for You. Ever looked at the water and wondered, so what? Well, today we'll be flipping that into, so what can this water do for you? The show is here to bring blue economy to everyday Nigerians, no jargon, no stress. And today, on our first episode, we're asking, what is the blue economy? Let's dive in. The blue economy is everything that happens on water for survival, money, and national growth. It covers jobs like fishing, ports, water transport, tourism, boat making, agriculture, even protecting the oceans themselves. Nigeria has over 850 kilometers of coastline, and this is a massive opportunity and a coastline we are barely using. In 2019, the blue economy was valued at over $1.5 trillion globally, and it's expected to double by 2030. So the big idea is this: what the land can do, the water can do too, and maybe better. Because the future is floating, and Nigeria must learn to sail. Most people don't know what it is yet, but that is why the Blue for You exists. We're talking real people and real voices, and putting water on the radar. You know, I always saw water as chill time, beach vibes, and boat rides. But today, I learned something else. Water is wealth. Fish farming, shipping, coastal tourism, these things can fill millions of jobs in Nigeria. And here's the fun fact: 90% of global trade moves by sea. So let's think differently. The water is not just for watching, it's for walking. Thanks for being part of the first episode of Blue for You. Next time, we're heading to a fish farm to see how young Nigerians are creating income from sources of water. You don't want to miss this. I am Comfort Idongisebasi, and this has been Blue for You, because the blue economy is for all of us. Thank you. From ports to paddles, coastlines to careers, Blue for You is your weekly dose of maritime discovery. Join me every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Blue Economy TV, and catch our repeat broadcast Mondays at 10 a.m. Discover the blue side of life. Hi, my name is Comfort, and welcome to Blue for You. Ever looked at the water and wondered, so what? Well, today we'll be flipping that into, so what can this water do for you? The show is here to bring the blue economy to everyday Nigerians, no jargon, no stress. And today, on our first episode, we're asking, what is the blue economy? Let's dive in. The blue economy is everything that happens on water for survival, money, and national growth. It covers jobs like fishing, ports, water transport, tourism, boat making, aquaculture, and even protecting the oceans themselves. Nigeria has over 850 kilometers of coastline, and that is a massive opportunity and a water highway we are barely using. In 2019, the blue economy was valued at over $1.5 trillion globally, and it is expected to double by 2030. So the big question is this: what the land can do, the water can do too, and maybe better, because the future is floating and Nigeria must learn to sail. You know, I always saw water as chill time, beach vibes, and boat rides, but today I learned something different. Water is wealth. Fish farming, shipping, coastal tourism, these things can fuel millions of jobs in Nigeria. And here's a fun fact: 90% of global trade moves by sea. So let's think differently. The water is not just for watching, it is for walking. Thanks for being part of our first episode of Blue for You. Next time, we're heading to a fish farm to see how young Nigerians are creating income from water. You don't want to miss it. My name is Comfort Idongisebasi, and this has been Blue for You, because the blue economy is for all of us. From ports to paddles, coastlines to careers, Blue for You is your weekly dose of maritime discovery. Join me every Saturday at 4 p.m. on Blue Economy TV and catch our repeat broadcast Mondays at 10 a.m. Discover the blue side of life.
Every morning, along Nigeria's 850-kilometer coastline, a ritual begins. Fishermen, some as young as 15, cast off with hope in their nets, but fewer fish return with them each day. A silent crisis is sweeping the West African coast. Illegal, unreported, and unregulated, what we call IUU, fishing is draining life from our oceans. In Nigeria alone, the estimated loss is over $70 million every year. For coastal communities, fish are not just food, they're income, culture, and survival. Yet foreign industrial trawlers, operating with impunity and without permits, vacuum up tons of catch daily, often within waters legally reserved for small-scale fishers. Detecting these ocean crimes isn't easy. The sea offers cover, and many trawlers switch off their tracking systems. But Nigerian authorities are fighting back, with satellite monitoring, coastal radar, and regional cooperation. In 2024 alone, 23 illegal vessels were intercepted. Several were found using banned fishing methods, destroying coral reefs, capturing endangered species, and operating under false identities. The loss isn't only ecological. It's economic and generational. Young people, seeing no future in fishing, leave for cities. Women, who dominate fish processing, face shrinking income. Nutrition suffers as local protein sources dwindle. Nigeria, despite abundant marine resources, now imports a significant portion of its seafood. That's not just inefficient, it's a national security risk. But there is hope, and it starts with people. Community-led patrols are proving effective in deterring poachers. Youth and women are being trained to document illegal activity using mobile technology. At the policy level, Nigeria is updating its fisheries laws, investing in local surveillance capacity, and working with ICAOs to track cross-border violators. There's also growing support for sustainable aquaculture, ensuring supply without harm. The ocean has fed us for generations. But without action, it will grow silent. Together, governments, communities, and consumers, we can defend our waters, restore our fisheries, and build a legacy of abundance. Fish for the future. Because our oceans feed more than our bodies, they feed our future. Nigeria consumes over 3 million metric tons of fish each year, but produces barely half of that. And with wild catch dwindling, what comes next? Across the globe, aquaculture, farming fish instead of catching them, is reshaping food systems. In Nigeria, it's becoming not just an option, but a necessity. Catfish, tilapia, shrimps, these staples are now increasingly farmed in tanks, ponds, and cages. Today, aquaculture contributes 40% of local fish supply. But it's still not enough. The challenges are real. Poor water quality, rising feed costs, and a lack of cold storage plague smallholders. Many lack access to capital or modern training. But innovation is bubbling up. Startups are bringing IoT sensors, mobile diagnostics, and digital marketplaces to fish farmers, boosting yields and reducing risk. Fish is more than food, it's a source of protein, jobs, and resilience. It prevents malnutrition, empowers women, and supports millions of livelihoods. By supporting gender-inclusive fish farming, Nigeria can lift families out of poverty and nourish future generations. To feed tomorrow, we must farm the sea today. Aquaculture is not just about growing fish, it's about growing futures. Clean, climate-smart, and community-led. The next seafood revolution will not come from the ocean floor, it will rise from Nigeria's ponds, tanks, and mines. For centuries, coastal communities have lived in harmony with the sea, managing, respecting, sustaining. But that balance is slipping away. Marine policies often come from faraway cities, detached from the rhythms of the tide. Meanwhile, the people who know the sea best are often unheard. Studies show that co-management, shared responsibility between government and locals, leads to stronger enforcement, sustainability, and resilience. In Ibino and Elage, fishers, women processors, and local leaders are setting their own rules, limiting gear, closing spawning zones, and reporting illegal boats. They know that the sea gives only when respected. And when communities feel ownership, enforcement follows. Tools are evolving. Smartphones now track fish stocks. Sea rangers collect data. And fisherwomen use mobile wallets to organize cooperatives. These are not just governance models, they are movements. Proof that sustainability grows stronger when rooted in culture. Governments may draw borders, but stewardship begins at the shoreline. When coastal voices lead, the sea listens, and so should we. A new kind of fuel is rising from the ocean, a gas so powerful it could transform Nigeria's energy landscape. It's colorless, clean, and made from water. Hydrogen is the universe's most abundant element. When burned, it emits only water vapor. As the world shifts from oil to clean energy, hydrogen is fast becoming the fuel of the future. Ocean-based hydrogen is made using renewable power to split seawater into hydrogen and oxygen, a process called electrolysis. It's green, scalable, and ideal for a country like Nigeria, rich in coastal wind, solar, and tidal energy. Green hydrogen could decarbonize Nigeria's shipping sector, electrify remote communities, and power cleaner industries. Already, universities and startups are piloting projects along the coast. New jobs, clean innovation, and export potential, Nigeria can become a hydrogen hub for Africa. From our oceans, we can fuel our future. The hydrogen revolution is here. Let's make it Nigerian. Beneath the waves, a new frontier awaits, filled with metals that power smartphones, solar panels, and electric cars. But is it a treasure chest or Pandora's box? Across the globe, nations are racing to mine the ocean floor. Cobalt, nickel, rare earth metals, all vital for the green transition, lie hidden under 4,000 meters of pressure and pitch-black silence. Demand for these minerals is soaring. Deep-sea mining could unlock them, at a cost. Nigeria, already a continental energy giant, may soon tap into its underwater mineral wealth. Recent surveys point to rich seabed reserves within our exclusive economic zone. With proper research and strategic governance, seabed mining could diversify our economy and reduce dependence on oil. But the ocean floor is not empty, it's alive. Mining could disrupt fragile ecosystems we barely understand. Species extinction, habitat loss, and sediment clouds could damage ocean life for generations. Critics urge caution. Once disturbed, deep-sea ecosystems may take centuries, or forever, to recover. Can we mine responsibly? With strict environmental safeguards, marine protected areas, and real-time impact monitoring, Nigeria could set a global benchmark. The debate is not just scientific, it's generational. The decisions we make now will shape the ocean's health and our nation's prosperity for decades.
Nigeria Shippers Council to the rescue, like a Superman wearing his cape. That's what you are, and that's how you build your brand. What is a brand, by the way?
Think the sea is far away? Think again. From the bustling markets of Lagos to the rich waters of Cross River, the sea impacts every single one of us. Brought to you by the Blue Economy Academy. This is Nigeria's essential monthly ocean intelligence brief. Whether you're in Badagry, Bakassi, or anywhere in between, we are all stakeholders of the seas. Join the conversation with founder Yubong Essien, CSB, and our team of limited spaces are available. Scan the QR code now and join the Code Blue movement. Let's build a Nigeria that prospers by water. Powered by the Blue Economy Academy.
Blue Economy Academy. Prosper by water.
As you know, today's event is about exploring the revolution of the blue economy and what the real estate sector can do. If you notice recently, there was this preliminary report about Nigeria's GDP, the rebasing. And we saw from that preliminary report that oil and gas has been displaced by real estate. Real estate is now number 3. Oil and gas is now number 4. Now, we get most of our income, most of our revenue from oil and gas. But in terms of its GDP value, which is really the gross domestic product for the nation, oil and gas is no longer giving us so much. That's why the oil and gas is actually what is called an enclave sector. You can invest 12 billion into the oil and gas sector and you'll be lucky to get employment of about 10,000 people. But invest 1 billion into any of the 10 buckets of the blue economy, because there are about 10 buckets of the blue economy. Those buckets, you have what we call blue commodities, for instance. You're talking about aquaculture, your fishes, your shrimps, all of those living organisms in the waters that can provide food, as long as they are harvested with sustainability in mind. You also have what we call blue cities, which is where you have real estate coming into the fore. So you're talking about development across the water lines, across the coast, waterfront development, luxury development as well, the entire gamut of it. So these two buckets alone, imagine the attention that we could pay to these two buckets and what we expect to generate. Now we know that on estimate basis, Nigeria's blue economy is put at about $30 billion US. That much we know. Globally, it's about 1.5 trillion US dollars. That is very expansive without having to do so much, because it's a sector that is a lot more inclusive. If I were to ask you, how many people do you know in oil and gas? You would have to scratch your head. It's practically an exclusive industry. But if I were to say real estate, chances are that you know someone who might not be a developer, but is a broker. Who might not be a broker, but is maybe a sales and marketing person in that sector. And then talk about those who are lawyers as well in that sector. So clearly, the step that FIAPC is taking today to say this is a revolution taking place, we want to now begin to move our consciousness about real estate from merely being landed property to actually value-driven assets. In other words, water itself has real estate value. And because of all of the activities, economic activities that can take place on it, underneath it, around it, in terms of the communities, in terms of the mineral resources within it, and of course in terms of the kinds of buildings you can begin to create. You can actually have estates, aquatic estates.
Okay.
So
I'll play the catch-up game, because you spoke so much about the blue economy, like this. We're just getting used to it, or this administration that had the Ministry of Blue Economy. So I'll play the catch-up game.
Absolutely. We fast-track the process by moving from mere advocacy towards engagement. That's how we fast-track the process. So for instance, you have in this room about 100 professionals in the real estate business. Not just the Nigerian body, but of course you have, for instance, you have the president of FIAPC Africa and Near East. So there's already international collaboration and expertise in this room. What I would say to FIAPC today is commence engagement. I'm told that there are commissioners from Lagos State that will also be part of this event. We don't have time for advocacy again, talking about whether it's important, talking about sensitizing ourselves. The world has moved. Yes, it's an emerging trend, but like you rightly asked, are we far behind? Yes, we're trying to play catch up now. So FIAPC should start visiting all the governors of the 8 littoral states, from Badagry in Lagos to Bakassi in Cross River State. Those are 8 littoral states. You should be talking to the governors. Governors, can you help us? Can you provide us enablement along the coast? Can you open up those frontiers? Because the 8 littoral states are the first frontiers as far as the blue economy is concerned. Then you have 20 other states inland, but they are connected by water transportation in one way or the other. Those are like the what you call the blue corridor states. So can FIAPC reach out to the governors, engage with them, and then create what we now know today as PPPs? All right, state governors, if you can open up the space for us. The real estate practitioners know how to find their way. We know that. We see estates all over the place. Many Nigerians have been buying into them, and so they've taken the lead without waiting for government.
Unlocking ocean opportunity. Let's prosper by water. From Badagry to Bakassi, Nigeria's coastline stretches with promise. Rich waters, endless resources, unseen opportunities. But for decades, we've remained sea blind, despite being surrounded by water. Nigeria has looked inland for growth. The maritime economy remained hidden in plain sight. The vast potential of the blue economy, untapped, unspoken, unrealized. Then came a vision. The Blue Economy Academy was founded to change the tide. A bold institution created to eliminate sea blindness and usher in a new wave of prosperity by water. At the heart of the academy lies a strategic framework. 10 key inclusion buckets that capture the entire spectrum of the ocean economy. From ports to policy, fish to finance. BEA connects every drop of potential. Through executive education, stakeholder town halls, awareness campaigns, and hands-on training. BEA is bridging Nigeria's knowledge gap, one course, one conversation, one community at a time. From our monthly Mastering the Blue Economy Executive Intensive, to grassroots projects like the Ocean Literacy Program and the Campaign Against Sea Blindness. BEA is for everyone: students, professionals, policy architects, investors, innovators. All united by one call, to help Nigeria prosper by water. The Blue Economy Academy has already made waves. National press coverage, government recognition, community trust. It is becoming the lighthouse guiding Nigeria's blue renaissance. This is your call to board the ship. Join as a member. Learn. Collaborate. Lead. Be part of the movement to unlock our maritime future. Blue Economy Academy, prosper by water. Eliminating sea blindness.
Hello, my name is Ubongi Sien, West Africa's only certified speaking professional and Dean School of Eloquence. According to the Eloquence Institute, over 70% of notable people, public officials and leaders find it very difficult to speak in public.
They do consultation.
This is how reputations are wrecked, one dull speech at a time. So, if you are serious about not being part of this sad statistic, protecting your voice, your image, and your reputation, then join me at the School of Eloquence, the home of public speaking.
My name is Adeze Nwogo, and the experience here at School of Eloquence has been amazing.
School of Eloquence, teaching the world to speak.
Are you tired of hearing about Nigeria's potential, only to wonder, what about my potential? Imagine a world where our rivers and oceans aren't just scenery, but pathways to prosperity, where our coastlines unlock new futures for every Nigerian. For too long, we've suffered from sea blindness. But it's time to open our eyes. Introducing Blue for You, a national movement connecting you to Nigeria's incredible blue economy. This isn't just for experts. It's for students, traders, innovators, and families. It's for everyone. Join our Blue congregation. Connect with passionate Nigerians. Share ideas and discover how to dive into a beautiful world of opportunity. Ready to find your blue? To see the scene not just as water, but as your future? Join our next monthly Blue for You forum via Zoom. Blue for You, the sea for all, that all may see. Your future is calling.
Life at sea is difficult enough. Let's not make it harder. I'm Ubongi Sien, certified speaking professional and founder of the Blue Economy Academy. As the world marks the Day of the Seafarer, under the powerful theme, my harassment-free ship. The message must echo beyond the moment. Our seafarers, those courageous men and women, face storms, isolation, and sacrifice every day. But what they should never have to face is harassment, abuse, or indignity on board their vessels. For women seafarers, this danger is often multiplied. Many of them suffer silently, marginalized, disrespected, or even violated. And all this without protection or justice. We must call this out. We must change it. A ship must be a sanctuary, not a threat. One where every woman is safe, every voice is heard, and every act of misconduct is addressed without delay. At the Blue Economy Academy, this is a moral and strategic priority reflected in two of our foundational pillars. First, Blue Governance and Justice, which demands stronger laws, enforcement, reporting systems, and ethical leadership at sea. And second, Blue Talent, because we cannot build a sustainable maritime future while neglecting the very people who power it. The Nigerian seafarer, whether male or female, deserves more than a struggle. They deserve global relevance, respect, and recognition. Many of our seafarers remain undertrained, underpaid, and underprotected despite their potential and the sacrifices that they continue to make. We must change that. It's time to benchmark Nigerian seafarers against international best standards. It's time to invest in their welfare, dignity, and growth, not just as workers, but as ambassadors of our maritime future. Let's make every ship a place of professional pride, mental peace, and personal protection. Let's create a maritime culture that sees harassment as an emergency and not a hidden habit. Because a true blue economy is not just about what we can extract from the sea. It's about how we treat the people who live and work on it. So, to every Nigerian and global seafarer, we just want to let you know that we see you, we thank you, we stand with you. May your voyage continue to be safe, and may your ship be harassment-free. May your future be even brighter than your past. Thank you from all of us here at the Blue Economy Academy. Happy Seafarers Day. Indeed, it is your harassment-free ship.
Once, these waters were the world's most feared. Piracy, theft, fear at sea. But the Nigerian Navy fought back and won. For 3 years, our seas have been calm. Piracy defeated, waters secured. The Navy victorious. But calm seas alone are not enough. What next? Empty coasts, idle hands, youths with no trawlers to work on. Security without prosperity is only half a victory. America is a superpower because its security fuels its prosperity, and its prosperity funds its security. Nigeria too must embrace this duality. No arm of our military holds the key more than the Navy. The old battle was pirates, oil thieves, and poachers. The Navy won it. The new battle is poverty on our coasts, wasted blue wealth, stolen futures. This is the blue battle, the battle for prosperity, for jobs, for abundance. Admiral, history will remember not only the battles you won at sea, but the prosperity you unleashed from it.